What's up, guys? Jaxel here. So a few months ago, the guys at EIBOS is a small company that makes filament dryers. They're really good. They're basically competition to some other companies. And about half a year ago, they came out with this thing called the Series X Tetras. Now, the Series X Tetras is similar to the AM4xS Pro, but it's not an entire filament dryer. It's a conversion kit for the original AMS, because the AM4xS Pro is a single unit that has one heating zone. So if you have 4 different filaments, let's say you got PLA, ABS, TPU, nylon, you would only be able to dry that at 45 Celsius, because PLA is the weak end of the link, and you can't dry filaments all at these higher temperatures when you have PLA in the stack. So what the Tetras does, it allows you to convert the original AMS, which is not a drying unit, into a drying unit, and it has 4 different zones, which is why there are 4 different control panels. And so this conversion kit is basically a new top. So you get this. It has 4 heating elements, or heating blocks, 4 control panels, as well as a control panel in the back. And then it has these acrylic, I think, or plexiglass dividers. Could be some sort of Lexan, I don't know. But you install it, you build it all together, and now you have 4 different drying zones that you can have at different temperatures. It's really nice. And it's about the same price of a AMS2 Pro, since you would get an AMS1 and then the Tetras conversion kit, which is about the same price. Now, it took me a few months to build this, and again, EIBOS, they sent me this. I did not pay for this myself. This is not a review. I have not actually even plugged this thing in yet, because I can't add it to my stack until I made this. The reason why EIBOS sent me this is because they wanted me to make an addition to my stacking system that would support the Tetras. Since the Tetras is a lot bigger than the regular AMS, it's about 60 to 80 millimeters taller. I think it's like 63 from what I mentioned. I don't remember the exact numbers. It could not fit in the original stack, so I had to add a well, technically I had to add half a block, because each block is 80 millimeters, and I only needed an extra 40 because there was actually a little extra room underneath the existing system I have, because we were using that for plate holders. Now, what I did is I removed the plate holder from the sliders, added that extra 40 millimeters, and then added another 40 millimeters of a dedicated large 6-plate holder. Now, a lot of people have been asking me for this for many months now. People wanted a standalone, bigger plate holder, and that's what this is. This will hold 6 plates. Now, if you are following my account on Maker World, you may have noticed a few days ago I updated the existing smaller plate holder with H2C size racks. So this one will have that as well. In fact, I have here is a mix. So the H2C plates are 20 millimeters smaller than the H2D plates. You can see the size difference. The thing about that is the vision encoder plate, as well as the cutting base, are the same size as the H2C plates. So you couldn't hold those in the original H2D rack because they were different sizes. So in this one, I actually have a special holder, which is a mix. So it's 4 H2D and 2 H2C for the vision encoder and the cutting base. So that's nice. That's a new addition that I came up with while designing this. That will also be available as a separate model. Another thing I changed is I have new rings that I just designed, which I will be releasing in the upcoming days. it's a D-ring instead of a circular ring, so it's a bit easier to print, though there is still need for some support structure. And you can see it shifts the pivot point to the left. And the reason for that is it gives a little bit more room to open hoods to these, because people were complaining that apparently there's another model of the AMS1 where the hood is even wider. So that didn't fit and it would hit the blocks over here. And I have never seen that model when I designed my rack system. So this will help alleviate that problem as well. And I hope that you guys can do that too. You don't need to reprint any of these. You just need to replace the handles. So that's a very easy print to fix if you are having that problem. These new handles will take care of that. I think these new handles are a lot nicer too, since they cover everything without having that ugly looking block on the side. All right, so anyways, with this new holder, now this is gonna shift around a bit because I don't have my cross braces installed yet because those are printing right now. So I'm gonna try to do this one-handed, of course, and without shifting things too much. Let's remove these plates for now because these plate arms are different than the original plate arms for the AMS1. I also did redesign the original AMS1 plate arms a little bit. I've already uploaded those because the new model of AMS1s that I said came in with this actually has slightly different wings and they didn't fit, so I had to update that model to increase compatibility. You know, hopefully that's not going to be an issue for anyone. But anyways, this new back brace, which is needed for the Tetras, had to be changed. And you can see we've got some clips here, which I'll get into later. But if we look here, we can see there is a huge rise that was bridged here with a support structure. And that's important for the control panel in the back of the Tetras. Now, let's turn this around. Again, I'm doing this one-handed while holding a phone. So this is gonna be a bit tough for me. All right, so this back piece right here is to be screwed in to this mounting plate over here. You know what, let me get a light. All right, we got some light now. All right, so with the Tetras, we've got these mounting hooks, which I've pre-installed, and this back plate right here gets put into those hooks. I have not screwed it in yet because this has to be screwed in after you add it to the arms, because this back plate, this controller gets added underneath in that slot that I pointed out before. So let's lift this up. I think I'm just gonna put my phone down because it's gonna be hard to do this while holding the phone. You're probably not gonna be able to see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna take this, drop it right in here. All right, there we go. And we see we have the control board right here in the back with all the cables. And then we need to screw, bring the light back on, there you go. And then this board will get screwed in to these clips right here. There we go. You can see it goes right through. And then let's see if I can do this. EIBOS, they sent me, included with the kit, is this really nice driver. So you'll always have the right size. Now there are 6 M2 bolts to screw in here. I'm only going to do 2 of them because I'll do the rest off camera, you know, just for speed. To reduce the length of this video. I doubt you can see what I'm doing right now anyways. Making sure not to pinch these cables. There's 4 cables, I'm sorry, 8 cables, 2 for each thermal block. And I have a cable pinched here. There you go. All right, 2 of the screws are in. I will put the remaining 2 off camera, but I don't want this video to take any longer than it needs to. All right, now we've got this controller plugged in, and we've got these clips, which I have put in to route these cables. And you can put these cables, these USB cables are thick. I don't know why. EIBOS made them so thick, probably because of the heat, and the thicker rubber will protect it from the heat. And then once those cables are in, I've already zip tied these cables together so they don't move at all. All right, and then that's one side, and then I'll do the other side as well later. But that is how it looks. Zoom out a bit. Yep, that makes it a bit easier. And then, of course, we can open the lid. And the cables do not reach the plates, which is good because of the zip tie. I think that zip tie, I think, is pretty important. And now we've got in our stack, well, not in a stack yet, but to be added to the stack. Now, I would generally put this on the bottom of the stack because this is obviously a very heavier unit than the standard AMS. But with the new block, you could stack multiples of these if you wanted to. Anyways, so that's pretty much it. We got the EIBOS Tetra. Thank you to EIBOS for sending this to me. Like I was supposed to do this a few months ago, but I couldn't because this Tetras works with the AMS1, not the AMS2. So if you have any AMS1s and you want to convert them into heating units, you can do that with this Tetras, 4 different containers. Now the reason why, even though they sent this to me a few months ago, I couldn't make this conversion, these new sliders anytime sooner, is because the AMS1s have been sold out for a long time on the Bamboo Lab store. Yeah, I can get them from Amazon, but I prefer to use my Bamboo Lab points. And with that, I was able to get it. But the AMS1, it would come back in stock, and it would be sold out within 10 minutes. So it took me a long time to get the AMS1s because they're pretty much only giving them with the combo units in the printers. Anyways, peace out, guys, and have a good night.